Welcome to another kind of review. I want to try something new in review, as a review way. So here it goes. We're doing this uncut and raw. I'm just gonna go through the review while playing this and showing you what this is. Now, let's start with this little menu here. Let's look here. These are your skills, of course. These have different kind of implementations and effects, of course. Now, telekinesis and chronokinesis are about a little bit different. Telekinesis is how far you can grab a weapon from a distance from the ground. And chronokinesis is how long and how often you can get the slow motion effect, which I will be showing you. Now, for those who don't want a slow motion effect, this can easily be turned off or turned on in settings. You can also just show enemy HP and show your own HP here on your left wrist. Now, the settings in these games are really good, I think. Simple, but they do show several things. You can also enable some modifiers that either does the game much easier or much harder. For example, boss weapon special instantly recharge for you. You can spawn the boss weapon abilities. Or you have permadeath, hardcore, no healing, and so on and so forth. Now, here are your stats. Also, you can see your stats here, and what you have on you, and what weapons, and how much gold and skill points you have. Let's go into performance. Now, I played for almost 11 hours, and total skill points is 10,010, so I just recently got the trophy for 10,000 total skill points, which is the last trophy I needed. So in this time I have accumulated or gotten all the trophies in the game. So that is a fair amount, I do agree on that, but the last 3 to 4 hours were just the grind for these skill points, which was kind of boring, honestly. The game is nice, but even a good game with grind gets boring. Now, let's go over to some more stats. Here you have armor. Now, you start off with a light armor and then you have some different stats depending on what armor you use. You do purchase these for gold that you earn, and same with helmets, these are also bought with gold, and they do give you different kind of stats. I'm gonna go with a knight armor today during this review because I want the extra HP. Now, armor will also make you move faster or slower, depending. Agility does control this. The higher agility, the more faster you move. So with my knight armor I move slowly, but if I had used a samurai armor I would move more faster. Now, these locked are just a recent update from the developer. Now, the developer is very good at updating this game, which I very much appreciate. And funny enough, the last time I was in, I could not buy these, so let's buy some access. I will be doing a video on the weapons, just to show you some differences and if the swing speed is different between the different weapons, because as you can see, the weight and damage differs from sword to sword. Now, with that comes a different recommended strength level as well, but generally they are easy to swing. This one is the heaviest as far as I know. Nope, that one was heavier. But it's also the strongest weapon. But even though it has the best damage, it's shorter than maybe a royal sword, or the Espadon, or Claymore. Now the swords do feel different because of the range and the size and the damage. But you can only dual wield or single wield. You can't two-hand a weapon, which is a bit sad, I think. Now, Swordsman VR is a simulation game, so having the weight and all that is, of course, well, the point of the game. But the simulation can be broken, I think, in some retrospect or in some aspects, because some of these weapons feel really heavy, more heavier than they should be in real life. But they do come with some kind of description, so that makes me believe that these are very much history based, most of them at least. Maybe not, of course, the boss weapons. Or the cursed axe also, which has a chance to kill you if you strike with it. Well, or hurt you with 150 HP, which is nice. Now let's go over to the main thing about the game. These are the 5 stages. This one only contains the last boss, and these have 10 stages, with the 10th being the boss. Now, the bosses are fairly strong, but once you've gotten at least one boss weapon, you can, well, it doesn't become easy, but easier at least. And the samurai are my least favorite enemies, because they are much faster than the other enemies. I will show you. Now, I don't think I will be needing more than 20 waves to complete this tutorial, or review, I mean, sorry. So, let's get started. I'm using a katana and Solace. Solace gives me 35 more HP. So, let's get this review started. Now, in this uncut and raw little review, I might get damaged. I might get hit. I might die. So, excuse the curses. Now, the feeling of the weapon, as I said, really good. And I do feel like where I swing, I hit. The problem that you will see soon is the enemy's launches. Oh, and the effect of the blood is really nice too. Whoa! As you can see, the samurai seem to be a bit faster. Damn it! And there you have the slow motion effect. Now, head stabbing is a good tactic because you can one-hit an enemy, but the stabbing does leave you open, which is not what you would want in a sword fighting game. And you saw there, he launches forward and then he hits me, even though, well, we're basically inside each other. That happens a lot. And let's see, what more do we have? Yeah, the graphics. As you can see, they are pretty standard, I would say, for a PSVR game. But they're not great, but they do look kind of good. And the toughest thing is the environments, I would say, but then again, they do look really well done anyway. Another thing that is really well done is the sound, the music. The AI, not so much. But then again, I guess the developer didn't want a too smart, I don't know. Oh, I do love the feeling of this, especially when you have an enemy that you're kind of having a problem with. And another thing, if you think that it's too easy, you can make the game, of course, harder, both with the well, the modifiers, but also if you do set yourself a challenge, maybe only fight with knives or only fight with one hand. I did that in a previous video where I only used one sword for 10 waves because I didn't want the video to be too long. Now, I do feel like I do swing where I swing, but sometimes I don't feel like my blow is connecting. Like there, I should have hit him and not the shield. Oh, and the slow-mo only happens when you block. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Now, another thing to keep in mind, your swords do connect as well, so you do need to keep an eye out of where you have your weapons so that you don't strike them together. And the game is fairly easy, yes. The bosses are a challenge. Even the last boss, even with boss weapons, is quite hard. At least I thought so. Now, what else do we have? Oh yeah, this is of course not the only arena. As you can see, as you could have seen in the first impression I gave, and I will also give you some tidbits here about the different arenas. There are 6 different arenas. This is the arena, which is part of this mode. And then you have the 4 different, the samurai and the Viking, Mongol and Knight locations. And the last boss has its own little, well, nice place. But is this game worth it though? Well, yes, I would say so. If you're looking to for a sword fighting game where you think where the movements are accurate enough, and you don't have a problem with the enemies have being not the best and glitching inside you. Well, yes, I would say this is definitely worth it. It's only $20 as far as I know. And of course, as I said, challenge yourself. Oh, and you can turn off the head stab as well, if you want. You can also set, like maybe the next challenge that for 10 waves you don't want to get hit, so check your HP and see if you get hit. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna have fun doing it. So let's get this samurai out of the way. There we go. Whew. Now, another thing about this mode, it's a wave mode, just like the story or the boss, the levels before the boss. They're just levels with enemies after enemies. But you can play for infinite and see how many rounds you can do, with maybe only knives and so on. Now, I can throw this away and just pick up any sword I want on the ground as well. Huh, I didn't think I could grab that one. I mean, it was pretty far away. Now, whoops! Now, it's too bad that the physics are good, but if you throw an enemy into another enemy, they won't care. Okay, that's it for this review, and I hope you liked it. Now, this was a bit of a different review because I want to try something new. I don't want to do this over and over again. Whew. It's monotonous. Oi. Hey. Whew. Come on! I dare you! Yeah! Now that tactics work, but yeah, that probably did a number on my HP. Well, I've been Swippy 92. Have a great life, and I hope to see you in future videos. Where's my sword? Where's my sword? Yeah. Whew. That was close. I'm done! Hey, I'm alive! Close one.